Rusty clowning, two dogs on a mission. Television gold, ain't no intermission. Wild antics, blanks got the crowd all wishing. Laughter's currency, big fame, recognition. Rusty in the corner, players wild and whack. Tim in the front, comedy never lack. Studio chaos, keep them all on track. Smash hit moments, all stripping from the mat. Tim and Rusty run the show, ain't no stopping. Every episode, side splitting, jaw dropping. Laughs on tap, steady beat, steady knocking. Fame train rolling, never gonna be flopping. Tim spitting jokes like a pro magician's wand. Rusty bringing back up, both tight like a bond. Audience cracking up, from dusk until dawn. Comedy duo, yeah, that's the unbreakable bond. Shenanigans break the fourth wall, candid confessions. Each episode a lesson in laughter professions. From pratfalls to epic rants, never second lessons. Tim and Rusty reign supreme laughter.
This is Rusty the Rev, the new Austin over here. Ring the bell, ring the bell. I'm ringing it.
Telling you to ring the bell,
and I'm ringing it. I need you people to leave me alone. One of my best friends got bloodied in the head tonight, and one of my other best friends got bloodied on the cheek, on the face. What am I gonna do? Now, here's Matt Starr. He has to work with this snake. And also, there's a snake in the bag over there, too.
Well, but then Matt's got a ring surrounded by snakes.
Don't call Escobar a snake.
I'm not talking about just Escobar. I'm talking about future over feelings.
What about these little kids?
Feelings over friendship or whatever they're called.
Let's go up there and stand at the ringside. Everybody else is.
Might as well.
Actually, I know there's a critique there somewhere, but I like it. I'm glad we can have a show that it's a family. It really is family.
Almost.
Well, yeah, there's a little thing here or there, but there's a little blood stuff. Want to ring the bell again?
Yeah, because of disqualification.
We need to get it started. We need these people to sit down up there. I'm going to have to ask them to move. They're in the camera shot. They're not in my camera shot. I need that girl thrown out. Security.
Wait a minute.
Quit standing there, Joe. Go over there and throw that girl out.
But you didn't want them thrown out.
Who?
Any of them.
You can throw, they're not interfering in the match, and they're wrestlers.
Interfered in every single
They're
thing.
wrestlers. They got managers
It
like.
does not matter.
No, look at this. We need to. This is not right. Now, Matt Starr hits that girl.
It does not matter.
She is a minor. He's one of those girls.
What about the two minors he's got out here?
If they get into it, they can get hit. I'll tell them to get out.
No, but that's
You can't let these people be involved in the match.
You let them people be involved in every single match.
I'm not letting nothing. I'm just
Yeah,
sitting here. You, Mr. the only person on the RWF board. You did. I didn't.
Hey, I'm gonna let it happen.
I'm not complaining about that. I'm complaining about these are fans. They're
So
not.
are they.
Nope. Leonard Bradley's a fan, but he's a wrestler. You can't use them. They need to be thrown out of the building.
So does Dave.
Danny needs to be fined and suspended for letting it happen. Should have been an automatic DQ. If he hit him with brass knucks, he would have been DQ'd. He hit him with two big feet. And if Matt Starr would have turned around and hit that little girl, we'd have had the police down here.
No, we wouldn't.
No, he could. He could hit her. She crossed the standard.
Well, he hit her, but he had to let her go with her mama.
Well, it'd have to hit Sean Hildreth, too. But I happen to know that one girl he used belongs to him. So, and as
You
in,
still want her thrown out?
yeah,
Why not throw them out?
they're not involved in the
They've
match.
been involved in every single match.
These two young men have not touched
I'm not
anybody.
talking about just them two. I'm talking about
They're
Nate,
wrestlers.
Landon, Austin.
They're wrestlers. We paid them to be there.
No, we don't.
We don't?
No,
I thought we did.
we don't pay them.
They don't get anything?
They didn't do enough to earn their money.
We gave them a hot dog. Come on.
Well, now this I don't agree with. This
Once
I do
again,
not. Yeah,
this
I
is
do
not right.
Agree with.
You need to throw that girl. Get that girl out of here. Get her out of here. That's a DQ.
Yeah.
That girl needs to be thrown out of the building. Shawn Hoodrich. Call
is
DHS.
that-
He's abusing children right here in front of us.
Yeah, Rusty, I agree with you on that one. That in the ring,
Well, the others was too.
they was not in the ring.
So I don't want anything said, but one of these young men here does something to Shawn Hoodrich. And that includes Nate Starr.
So what if they're trying to get in the ring? They need to be thrown out. I'm sorry, but we've lost complete control. We haven't called a single thing in this match.
They're distracting from the match.
Oh, did you not see Nate Starr holding Hoodrich's tights so that Matt could run his shoulders into him?
Nate Starr is a licensed professional wrestler.
I'm not talking about that. None of them needs to be involved in this match.
Well, I'm not going to argue that point, but it's different than these.
Everybody around the ring needs to go. Everybody.
I'll live with that too, as long as you're willing to back me up on these kids.
Everybody, the kids don't need to be in the ring.
Once again, if they get hurt, they're going to shut us down.
They signed waivers.
Not those kids.
Hey, it's on the back of their ticket.
Nah.
You're not responsible.
Because they're not expected to be in the ring.
Right.
What is Matt Starr doing?
He's distracting the referee so that Nate can get some cheap shots in. And then look at Escobar. What is Escobar doing sneaking around?
Being Escobar, he has a manager's license. He can be out here.
This has been unfair to everybody tonight.
Where's Julie Steele at?
She's recovering. Did you not go back there and check on her?
No.
Why not?
Tim started the next
See, look
match.
at- Nate's got a chair.
He's going to sit down in it.
No, he's not. He's going to put Hoodrich's face in it.
Well,
Oh. Back suplex.
that was not his head or his face, and that was not a chair.
It was his back.
It wasn't Nate's. It was a ring, and it was his back.
I think we're going to have a new world heavyweight champion, Rusty.
What?
I think we're going to have a new world heavyweight champion. He's outnumbered. We can't do anything with that. And there's nobody and what gets me is RWF has let this happen. They've seen these guys all night. They double team, triple team, quadruple team everybody that they've been in the match with tonight, and no one has came out here and stopped it. Not even Shenanigans Minor.
He helped
he's
it.
He's just sitting here letting it happen, and he's not even doing anything about it in the ring.
Well, the other aspect, for 6 months, RWF has allowed Shawn Hoodrich to scare people, intimidate people with that snake.
But he never used it as a weapon.
Yes, he has.
No, he hasn't.
He's choked people with it.
He choked with it.
Sharp Dressed Man
No, he
Lawrence.
didn't.
Yes, he did.
He did not
and
choke.
everybody was there that night, saw it.
I was
I've
there
got
that
it on
night.
film.
No, you don't. I think you probably edited the film to make it seem like he choked him, but he
Why do you
didn't.
just automatically say
was
that?
there. I was-
You know it's the truth.
Show me the film.
Well, Lawrence made a pair of shoes out of one of his snakes, a pair of boots,
He tried.
and a briefcase.
The briefcase that he hit Julie with. There you go. I give that a 15, Rusty.
Well, yours doesn't count. It's unofficial.
Actually, I'll give it a 20.
Just ignore anything Rico's holding up. It's unofficial. It's untrained. It's gimmick infringement. Oh, that's pretty. Oh! This could be it.
This could be it. Hooterich may pull it off.
This should
I
be
don't
it.
know.
Oh, dropped an elbow.
Oh, Star kicked out at 2. Escobar just gave. Escobar's trying to sneak something in the ring. And so what? Uh-oh, there's Nate getting involved. What is this, Rusty?
Well, he should have left Nate alone.
Oh, kick to the face. A rope stunner. Star kicks out at 2. There's so much going on. I've lost track.
I'm sorry. I sort of checked out watching all this.
Yeah.
Not supposed to do that. But it's there, folks, for you to see.
Again, Nate is getting involved.
I agree. Nate doesn't need to do that. There you go. Is that what's good to hear? But also, these little girls don't need to be
they don't need to get involved either.
They need to be thrown out of here.
Look at Cooter.
It's Larry Cooter.
Cooter. Do not turn around.
Well, that's one down.
Oh, Hooter's kicked out after the double super kick.
You don't get any closer than that.
No, you don't. Not at all.
Whoa. Aren't you going to say, call me a liar about that? No, you don't.
About what?
You're supposed to disagree with that.
Call you a liar about what?
You don't get any closer than that.
No, you don't.
What are you agreeing with me for? You had all night.
I have agreed with you a lot tonight.
I want these kids out of my way, Tim Miner.
I want everybody around the ring out of the way.
We can't see them.
Shenanigans, do something. Oh, what a spear. Oh, and he kicked out.
You can get closer than that.
You can.
He got closer.
What's going?
The distraction's coming. Daddy's got to get rid of Austin. Got to worry about Landon. Okay, time for one of these little kids to kick somebody.
Well, okay, he's got something. He's got a chain.
Chain. It's
kick.
all right. Sean Hendricks shoots kids.
Oh, he kicked out at 2.
Oh!
I thought that was a 3. I thought that was 3. Uh-oh. Hey, now RWF has listened to me. They've listened to me.
Yeah, the X-Men are out here. Xavier and X-Xavier.
They've listened to me. They heard the call.
The X-Men came out. Cooter came out. Now we just need somebody to clear these little girls out.
What is Escobar doing?
He's waiting on Julie. Yes! That is a 10! Do it again! Kick him up! Do it again! It's going to be hard to get a pinfall without a referee.
Yeah.
Austin Harrison's right here. Somebody tie him down. Those little girls won't let him by. Super kick. A second one.
What is Austin doing?
He's going to hit his snake.
Rusty, what you letting these kids get involved?
You did. You gave them the belt.
Gonna have a new champion.
Austin, get out of the way!
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, and you, RWF Heavyweight Champion, Matt Starr.
Eventually.
Matt Starr is your new RWF Heavyweight Champion.
Welcome to the Tim and Rusty Show right here, May the 22nd. A beautiful sunny evening here in Middle Tennessee, and we have just been watching one of the best matches in RWF history. Matter of fact, what was it?
I'm back. You saw my back.
We had a total blackout there, and it may be one of the best matches. Well, it was one of the best matches that we've seen, and we've seen a lot of matches. Wow, it was just good.
Okay. Did something freeze?
No, my microphone's moving.
No, I'm not seeing the live stream.
Oh, well, time out a moment for our technical difficulties.
Well, let's see if it kind of. There we go. We're back. Okay.
Welcome to the Tim and Rusty Show. This is Rusty the Ref. This is the voice, Tim Miner. We just saw, in case this is a repeat, apologies, but we just saw one of the best matches in RWF history before or after RWF, as probably one of the best matches that we've seen in all our wrestling careers. That we have seen some matches.
All the near pinfalls, and
then
you saw Matt Starr become RWF Heavyweight Champion. He used the title to do it, but he is the RWF Heavyweight Champion.
He used the title. Sean Hoodridge used his daughter's big feet.
What a show.
You don't really have big feet.
What a great show we had. I mean, it's just a great crowd, great matches.
Excuse me a moment.
It's just everything just blended together.
I was very, very impressed with our show. There was one of the new wrestlers to us commented on it and just said there's just such a feel here. It's just such a good atmosphere, and it was. If there's ever any doubt of us doing a family show, look at all the kids that were there. Maybe we went a little too far, but get all these wrestlers' kids get involved in the match. But they're wrestlers' kids. It's their life.
Well, and some of those kids, like
some of them
are you going to see them in the ring eventually?
Oh yeah, well,
I believe we'll see Ryan Xavier sometime in the future.
We'll see Matt Starr.
We might be really old, and hey, that's.
We'll see Matt Starr and Nate Starr's little boys. They were out there, and Sean Hoodridge's girls. We're going to see them soon. They're teenagers, and I don't want to tell your personal life, but they're out there. Everybody saw, and they are already accomplished amateur wrestlers. They've one of them has won. Well, they've both won titles. One of them got moved up to an upper division. So you're right. We're going to see. And anyway, but it's you just had that feel. Something I noticed the last three matches. Now, there's kayfabe stuff, and I don't think any of our wrestlers broke that. But I'm not insinuating. But I'm look over here to the door where you come in, would be my right there, and I see Sons of Wrestling watching. They didn't come in. I even went over and said, "You guys can come in and sit down. You know, it's all right. And there's some empty seats here. You can sit around the table with us if you want to." Didn't really want to do that. Anyway, there wasn't enough room, not enough mic, but still, you guys, no. We just want to watch. And they watched the last three matches. I look over here to my left to the garage side, and out there is King James and Preston Adams just watching the match. I'm thinking they're going to do a run. No, they're just wanting to watch their buddies, watch the show, look back to the back corner, back toward the concession stand and the wall, and there's all four No Limit Pro guys, Cobb and just Dat Vicious and Classic Man and Sky Black. They're standing back there watching. It's like, well, this is the way it ought to be. They came out to enjoy the show, to enjoy the fans, to just be part of wrestling. They were being fans, and that's the bottom line. If you're not a true fan not this mark stuff. That's these ring rats and stuff. But you're a true. Don't tell Mike Cobb I said insinuated ring. No, I'm not by any means. It's not any of that junk. If you're a true fan of, you should be a true fan of wrestling, or you should not be in the ring or have anything to do with any of our, staff. But anyway, it was a great show. There was a feel there.
I noticed that he was watching earlier. Our referee, Austin Harris.
Oh man,
Dude,
Austin!
I sat there and told you before the show, don't stand on the hard camera side of the ring when you're outside the ring. And yet, what did you do? You stood on the hard camera side of the ring.
Right about
right. And you hear Rusty say,
get
Austin, get out of the way. You can't see.
Because he's about to
I
pin
told
him.
you before, go to the left or to the right of the ring when you're outside the ring. Don't stand on the side that's got the hard camera on it. Got that off my chest.
Well, in that vein, I agree.
I'm going to put an electrical shock collar on him. And
you need to turn.
I'm going to shock him.
You need to turn your hit dog Rico loose on him next show to get him out of the way. What we in that vein though, but Austin, we do appreciate your willingness and readiness to. He'd referee every match if we ask him to. He'll go through whatever harassment any of the wrestlers want to do to him. And he's there, and he works. He helps with the setup and the takedown. So we appreciate that, but stay out of the way of the camera shot.
Also, hey,
and you wrestlers too. I like the way Matt Starr does it at PWA. He may be in the camera shot, but he's posing. He's working the camera. Him and Austin work that camera the whole. That's you love. You want that, but. Not anyway, and I understand he's excited, and there's a little kid in all of us, and Austin just runs up and he's excited, wants to see this, and he's got a privilege of going right up to the very ring, which everybody else can't do, and then had to shove those little kids out that's up there that's being used as weapons for him to do it. I loved it. It was exciting.
I've had other people watch our live stream, and it's not necessarily people that want to do wrestling live streams. But I had a couple people over the last couple of weeks that said, "Hey, I watch your live stream, and your sound and quality is so good. What do you do?"
Plug it in,
and it's like I had some people talking about doing a sports broadcast, like
you mean this sound?
Yeah, from our show right here.
Yeah.
And they're like, how do you get your sound and everything? And of course, we use StreamYard to do our live stream, which of course I had to buy almost a $2,000 computer with a processor that was strong enough to do the live stream. But hey, it's been a good investment because, and then also,
and it should last for years.
I had to do the same thing with a laptop for the processor to use the StreamYard to do the live stream for the girls softball, but it's paid for itself because of where I get paid from doing softball games. So.
But once again, that computer, this has nothing to do with sports, but it's going to last.
Well, that's a current event.
But it's going to last for my lifetime, probably. I've had a laptop for about 10 years. Matter of fact, Adam Harpo sold it to me when he worked here locally at an electronics store. And
the laptop that I've got now that I do, it's a almost a $1,500 laptop. The one I use it for music at our wrestling show, but I also use it for streaming because it's got such a high processor in it. Mm-hmm. It's not just a regular. I've had several laptops for like $300 or $400 that I've once I get the use out of it, I'll swap it over.
Well,
this one I will.
You do carry yours around a lot to a lot of events
I've got
too.
2-3 laptops.
And
but my main one now is that the one I use for the live streams. If we had like a hardwired wire coming into PWA or coming into the National Guard Army, I would do a live show straight from and I could probably set it up on YouTube as a pay-per-view type thing.
Oh, Robert McCullough, would you work on that? You have a lot of, and you and Escobar have a lot of head knowledge about that kind of stuff, and work on that for us. Get us, you can find that. It's there somewhere.
We just need internet, and we need to be able to hardwire into high speed internet at the National Guard Armory. If we ever got our own building, that's what one thing I would do. First thing I would do is have an internet modem plugged in right where our table's going to be, and we would go.
Oh, yeah.
Get our Xfinity business internet like I've got it here at my house, and get to 1,200 megabytes per second.
Well, once
No
again,
buffering.
if there's a person out there, ideally, that has a building that and you're a wrestling fan, but ideally it'd be like in a strip mall or something, and one of your buildings is vacant, and you let RWF come in and run their show there and run their wrestling school there, and
we'd pay
don't
rent.
charge us. Oh no,
Well, we pay a rent, but
We do-
but we need something that's affordable.
but it's all right if you don't charge us anything.
We looked into a building that we were going to probably try to lease. Me and Thorne did, and it was a nice building here in Gallatin.
Beautiful building.
The back room is great. Has great office space up front. A good kitchen area. 2 bathrooms for men and women's bathroom. I'm like, this building is already set for. It was a big long building. Wasn't wide, but it was long. Had good garage doors that you could back the trucks in, put the ring up, have a place for the ring, and the up front office area was really nice. That
There's
was gonna
probably
be-
room for 2. We could have 2 shows at the same time.
Oh, yeah,
that big.
But when we called about how much it would be per month, $9,500 a month.
Which
That's over. That's $100,000 a year.
we'd have to have a show every night, I think.
Oh yeah, we'd have to to make the money.
And then we wouldn't because everybody won't come every night.
Yeah,
They barely come every week, every month, once a month.
and you'd have to pay the wrestlers every night. So we'd be just doing it with all those
But
costs.
ideally, somebody, what I would,
See, when I first looked at the building, I was thinking, probably anywhere from 2,800. I was expecting maybe 2,800 to 3,500, and I was thinking, that range, that's a possibility because we could probably do a couple of shows. We could do a show each week. If we could probably make enough profit to cover the rent, and if we could find some sponsors, then because it'd be easier to find sponsors when you've got a building and you're running every week, also.
and once again, that's no offense to National Guard Armory, particularly with this new sergeant. It's
just would
it's
like
a
to have
good
somewhere where
situation.
we can keep everything set up,
Yeah,
and
we can only get it once a month, and it's you
but,
have to set
I
up
mean,
a
at
lot.
that price, I was going to have to move in. I'd have to live there.
So we,
But it was big enough room to where we could actually set up an area to have our live stream there. Set up all of our live stream equipment in a room. Like in one of the front
Yeah.
offices. And
well, we've got some wrestlers that are already training, but they're ready, willing, and to train new wrestlers and help some of the wrestlers that are coming along get better, and some people that knows what they're doing, like a Blackthorn.
You could have a training night. You have to take the ring out so you can
And that,
have I know SWA.
LBK's willing to do that with us. The Matt Starr would do that with us. We can get you some good training. Come on, sponsors, and we can make them a star, can't we?
Oh yeah.
Who was that guy at Saul that he was? They made him a referee, made him a manager.
I can't think of his name now, but Tim Scruggs. When Tim Scruggs trained at SWA here in Gallatin, we got to keep the ring up at the VFW Hall, which is a church now. I wish I had bought that building when it came open. That would have been a good place for wrestling, but you could only fit probably 150. Could we fit 200 in there?
But that's all right if you.
Was it?
I know we had 150.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, packed things where there's no bad seats, everybody's close. Well, I asked Desperado, he might remember.
But
But it,
but when Tim Scruggs had that, we got to leave everything up. So
Thank you, Tim Scruggs.
Wednesday night, they had training on Wednesday nights. So they have the training school. So like if we had our own building where we got to keep the equipment up, it would be so easy to run a show because we wouldn't have to be carrying everything in and out. You can leave the speakers up. You can leave the sound equipment. I take my cameras down every week.
well, if you had something like that, and you could do like SWA and Tim Scruggs did, you could get these guys still in high school. Get some of these star football players and basketball players, and even gymnast, cheerleader types, whatever. They could do all the acrobatics, and you could start them out young, and it could really be good.
We did watch party on the last month's show for the full show last Thursday, and it got interrupted.
Something I did, I'm sure.
It got blocked in a lot of areas because
I
some
didn't say
music-
Dirty White Boy one time. That's a man's
well,
name.
because some music played that I didn't edit out and I didn't realize it was in there. So if we're sorry if you got knocked offline off of Facebook and you couldn't find it back on, but I did edit it and re-uploaded it. The full
Well, I
show
watched
from,
the rest of the show that night
yeah, and
on
I put-
YouTube.
well, and I put I uploaded it to YouTube, I believe YouTube and Facebook. I re-edited it, took the music out. It wasn't supposed to be there, so you can still watch that full show. And that's the full show from March, not the May. We didn't have a show in April. May show, I've already edited the whole show, but I want to do match by match for the next. Well, you're going to be gone, so we're going to have
Maybe,
some
maybe
issues
not.
doing a live stream here in the next few weeks.
We'll work with that.
What are you going to do about PWA?
We'll work with that. We don't want to discuss all my personal stuff on. I have
no, we're gonna bring it up. You always bring my personal stuff up, so we're gonna bring your personal stuff up.
I'll be working at a summer camp, church camp this summer, which I try to do every summer, and I've done it for years. It took a few years off, but now I'm in a place where I can do it again. I've done it the past 2 years. Last year I went to PWA. I didn't miss PWA, and I came back for live stream too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Anyway,
Of course,
Tim might fire me. You can always count on the old reliable Rico. You cannot. Yes, you can. You cannot count on me. Yes, you can.
When was the last time Rico was at the live stream?
He's always whatever
He's
I
always got
say.
some kind of
He
excuse.
says that you cannot, you do not,
He
you
told
did
me
not.
earlier
Yes,
today,
I
he said,
did.
I'm in Clarksville. I don't think I can make it there in time. I'm like, dude, you're a cop. You can speed.
Turn the light. Turn those blue
Just
lights
drive.
on.
He wasn't in his car. I was like,
Well, he's bound to have one of those little things like they have on TV,
Yeah, but
where they
like
put up in the
Kojak.
window. Yeah,
some of these people don't know.
I
who
was thinking
Kojak was.
streets of San Francisco, but anyway,
Um,
who loves you, baby? Now, Rico, it was good to be with you at our show. I do wish you'd have gone up and moved Austin out of the way, but we still love you, Austin. Don't you show up and keep refereeing all those matches.
PWA is in action tomorrow night in Gladeville. I'm not sure what matches are taking place.
Well,
You got any
I've
information on-
an idea. Austin Cruz is taking on a. Hang on, give me just a second here. Austin Cruz is taking on Brandon Wolf. You know, Brandon Wolf and Landon Bradley.
I was yawning because of Brand. I'm yawning because I'm tired.
You were yawning because of Austin Cruz.
Yeah, Austin Cruz puts me to sleep.
Austin and Brandon. Brandon's been feuding with Landon Bradley, who's part of Future Over Feelings, and who is Austin's little buddy. But everybody's Austin's little buddy, if you know Austin. And then also Isaiah Combs. He wrestled LBK last week. He's going to have a return match this week. He was good.
I'm not seeing. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, folks. I was logged into the RWF Facebook page, so I wasn't seeing everybody's messages. Now I'm seeing them. I just happened to see way over there on the computer screen a lot of messages. I'm like, why am I not getting those? So let me start off.
Wait, Nick Depp, Larry Cooter. That's all I've got.
It's
right
good.
now.
Sean Hoodrich, we showed you a match tonight. I'm gonna tell you what. He deserves he's going to get a return title shot in June 21st, our next show.
We ought to have
You see that scroll back?
a snake on the pole match.
There's a bunch of snakes outside the ring on helping Matt Starr.
Oh, I didn't know you was listening, Sean. So hope I didn't say anything too
Brian-
personal about your family.
Brian Burkheim had some great pictures. He's already posted those on Facebook. If you've seen any of those.
And he will do family portraits or get you some glossies up for your, you wrestlers. We'll get you some of those to sell at your table. He'll do wrestling baseball type cards for wrestlers. He'll do all that for you if you want.
But anyway, now that I've caught.
It's Landon Bradley also will verse Johnny Bandana, and Matt Starr will verse Zach Dye. I'm not sure who that is, but We know Landon and Johnny, and it's
Yeah, Johnny Bandana came to our show this past Saturday night, and it was great to have him there.
and
I love anybody that's a 49er fan. Me and him can,
Well,
me
I
and him
knew
can get
there-
along with each
I,
other. He could.
I really liked the man, but I knew there was just something about him that was just off. And it wasn't those bandanas. He's a
A 49er fan.
he wasn't a Brock Purdy fan though. Surely not.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Yeah, he got paid.
Yeah, he got paid. a
Got
lot.
paid big. I think, and this is what I heard some local commentators say. Maybe he shouldn't have taken the $55 million a year. He himself should have said, "Wait, just make it $45 million." Because I mean, once you get that many million, and go out and get me some wide receivers, or get me a tackle, or spend that $10 million for the next 4 years on one of those guys. Give me a tackle that won't let anybody tackle me. But there again,
I think he'll be all right.
kudos. If you can get it, you can get it. And Pete Carroll's no, not Pete Carroll. Who's their coach now? That's Seahawks. I'm sorry, Shanahan.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, he's no fool. He is a football guru. He
Well,
knows
here's
what he's
the
doing.
thing.
So if
Over
you
the
get
past few years, everybody has
congratulations.
expected the 49ers to be there. They've even picked them to win the Super Bowl. Several people have picked them to win the Super Bowl. This year, they're not even on the map. Everybody's forgetting
because
about
of last year.
because of last year, everybody's forgetting about them. I almost guarantee you, watch and see if they're not the surprise team this year in the NFC, because nobody's paying attention to them, and nobody realizes this. They have the easiest schedule, the easiest second half of the schedule than any other team in the NFL. So they get to play that fourth place schedule
Yeah.
because they finished fourth last year. So
Well, why
they've got a
doesn't the
talented team.
Titans get to play a schedule like that? Their
They
their
do.
number
They
one game is the
they're just one
Broncos.
of the worst teams still.
They just, but they're playing the Broncos at a Mile High Stadium. The first game.
They play San Francisco in San Francisco.
Well, I'm looking for Titans. I know I say this every year, but this year they really should be at least a 50-50 team, because they finally fixed the line. And we don't know it's fixed till it does it, but they've got some 3 professional linemen, offensive linemen there, the tackle, the center. Of course, Quisenberry, he has to get well, and he should be by then. And they've got a guard, and they've got their 2 younger guys. They've got experience now, and they've got some backup. So maybe I still think they go to the playoffs, go deep in the playoffs 2 years ago with Tannehill. If they'd have done this kind of stuff then, Malik Willis might have been able to do something here if they'd have fixed that. But you fixed it. Thank you. We'll find out how fixed it is, but they've at least moved the right pieces.
Oh, I wanted to bring up something about the NBA Finals. I know y'all are wanting us to talk wrestling, but NBA Finals, Final Four teams are teams that you would never. They're not the big market teams like have always been there. It's like
they're
you got
gonna
the
have-
Knicks and the Pacers,
They're going to have to act like they've been there before.
and then you got the Timberwolves and the OKC Thunder. Now the Thunder used to be the Seattle SuperSonics. They did win championships back in the 78. They were there in 77, 78, 79. And they had a great team back then. I was a big fan of them back then because they wore the Gallatin green and gold colors. But then when they moved to OKC, I disliked them because when I coached AAU basketball, we had a team called the Tennessee Thunder that was our arch rival. And we would seem to play them in tournaments every year. And we even got in fights with them. We was shaking hands after one game, and Zach,
I love
Zach had played
love
for
Zach.
Zach. He's been on the radio show for. One of their players punched him in the face as we were coming through the line.
And that's when that was the people fishing and stuff were very racist toward Zach.
Yeah, he
Openly called him. Please
Little
don't
white
take
boy.
me off. This is reporting. They called him that little white boy.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't do that. And they did. And he punched Zach. Did Zach punch him back?
Oh no, my whole team. Colin was on that team. Hayden. These
So
big
you
boys that
had-
played football.
you had the bruiser there, Hayden.
Yeah, I believe we also had what's his name, the big tall guy that plays fantasy football with us. I can't think of his name now. Parrish.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, they defended real quick.
Yeah.
But
you could
it
just
was
see
something about that
Colin
team.
running around like Patrick Mahomes, punching everybody, and Hayden was mowing them
something
down.
about the Thunder team, and when they OKC changed
Parrish
it-
is a big boy,
yeah.
a man, but then he was a boy.
But
He is big.
when they changed the name to the OKC Thunder, I just I'm kind of pulling for them this year. I want the winner of the Thunder and the Timberwolves to win. I'd like to see the Timberwolves win, but I don't think they can,
I don't have any big.
because the Timberwolves are one of those really small market teams.
The
And
teams that I would
I like to
like
see the Timberwolves and Pacers.
are not in it, but I'd like to see the Knicks. I think it's a historical thing, and I remember watching the New York Knickerbockers play the Harlem Globetrotters back when I was a kid. That's who played them.
Now the Pacers won Game 1, and the Thunder won Game 1 in Eastern and Western Conference.
And they,
Championship.
matter of fact, the Knickerbockers back then, back in the 50s, I guess, or 60s, whenever it was, probably 60, they were shooting underhanded. I think the Globetrotters made them do that, probably. Hindsight.
Okay, let's go back to Renegade Wrestling this past Saturday night. Great card of action. We started off with Austin Cruz taking on Jason Xavier. We started off with King's Court. The King's Court as King James, not LeBron James, but the real King James. Not the Bible King James, but the King James.
Formerly known as Sharp Dressed Man Jimmy.
He came out and gave away his title. Gave his tag team title to Drew Weatherby.
Actually, Drew and Preston have already wrestled together, hadn't they?
Well, they've wrestled together, but they wasn't
But not as a tag team, not as a King's Court.
And so he submitted the title to him and said, "Hey, I'm going to relinquish this title to you, and you get to be tag team champion with Preston, Pretty Boy Preston." I don't know if they got a special team name, but
I
they
thought
are.
it was the King's Court.
Well, I'm not sure. They didn't give me. I'm talking about the two as a tag team. I don't know.
Well, when he tagged with LBK, it was Thunder and Lightning, and Drew's the Thunder. Of course, Lightning Bolt Kid's the Lightning. But why should that shock you? He is a Weatherby. He himself, he puts it on his shirt and on his Facebook, on all his never trust a Weatherby. And there was Kevin and Cody. They were oftentimes fan favorites, but TJ, if he was a fan favorite, he still put the beat down on you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure, other than maybe a headlock, that I saw TJ Weatherby. I'm sure he did, but that I don't remember him doing a wrestling hold because he was busy beating them down, and he was a big man. He did wrestling holds, but that was not his per se. He just put the thump on him.
With the King's Court being done, King James relinquished that title over Drew Weatherby, and Drew Weatherby and Preston Adams became your tag team champions of the RWF.
Now,
know,
ownership and commissioner and the board of directors, that's okay. They are a legitimate tag. Well, they just won it.
Yeah.
They defended that belt, those belts, and they won
If you
it.
want to give your belt away, I mean,
Well, he's planning on getting a world title or U.S. title.
Jimmy
is,
if
James.
I'm going to win a belt, I ain't giving it to somebody. I'm going to hold on to that thing. I'm going to rock it to sleep every night.
You did.
Or ride it, let it ride my car, put the seatbelt on.
You did.
I'll make sure it's got a seatbelt on. I don't care if Luke's got a seatbelt on or not, but I want to make sure that the title has a seatbelt on.
We've got those pictures of you sitting in the bathtub with the
I took
candle
a-
lights and
I
the
took a
music
bubble
playing.
bath
and-
with it.
Yeah, and there's it's on one end and you're on the other.
How you doing?
I'm going to wear you tonight.
I'm gonna wear you out on the town.
That was a hardcore belt that you got from Scorpion
Anyways,
at SWA.
then we started off with our opening match. Austin Cruz took on Jason Xavier for the United States title,
And that
and
was a match.
Austin Cruz was disqualified
Well,
because future over feelings. Yeah, future over feelings had to interfere.
but did that the match that there was one match when Xavier Michaels and Larry Cooter and Sean Hoodridge did a run in to save, and was that the one where Sean was throwing that snake all over everybody?
Yeah, that's when after the match was over with.
Because I was wondering the whole time.
Uh,
You just said you had Xavier's back, Xavier. Where are you? And sure enough, the X-Men showed up.
I didn't know Xavier Michaels came out there. I
it's not,
I knew Sean came out there and Larry Cooter.
I tell you, yeah, Xavier.
I don't think Xavier.
He
We'll have
came
to look
out.
at that. I think
I
you're
had
wrong.
to look. I shouldn't have brought it up because I can't.
I
But
think you're wrong.
no, he came out for one match for the save, and I'm pretty sure that was.
I don't think it was.
Then it was another
How much
match
you
he
wanna
did.
bet? I'm a betting man.
It may, if it wasn't that match, he did another one. Anyway, came in and did a save on
But
another
anyways,
one. It might have been him and Jason that came in for a save. But anyway, who else there? Nate?
So Nate, that's when Nate came out to help. It was Nate and Larry Cooter come out to help.
Yeah, but
Nate turned. He allowed Matt Starr and
You're right.
the goons attack Larry Cooter from behind.
I'll concede. You're right.
Okay, and then
I
we
remember
had,
that vividly now.
then we had Drew Weatherby and Preston Adams taking on Luis Antonio and Anthony Ray, 2/3 of the Sons of Wrestling, and the
Rough
Sons
and
of Wrestling.
tumble Anthony Ray.
The Sons of Wrestling were looking good and looking like potential. This was a non-title match, but I'm thinking, hey, these guys are going to get a win. They're going to put themselves right there in position to take these titles, from these guys
And Anthony
eventually in the future.
Anthony did more wrestling too. That
But
he's
King
usually
James-
for the anchor.
King James just couldn't keep his nose out of the business.
Well,
So, King James
he's got to
interfered.
defend his titles.
So Austin Wright comes out to help his boys out.
That was a title match, wasn't it?
No, it was a non-title match.
Oh well, they haven't defended that belt. and
No.
I take that back. I thought
So
they legitimized
we just turned that into a 6-man tag match, after the interference. So King James, Drew Weatherby, and Preston Adams took on Austin Wright, Luis Antonio, and Anthony Ray. And King James, Drew Weatherby, and Preston Adams got the win.
it. Yeah. Now to make no mistake, when you're thinking about this, King James, he's got a mind for wrestling. He sees this stuff inside and out, ring psychology, and I think we're very blessed to have him. He's good to have. Now, the Sons of Wrestling may not think that, but
Then we had Mike Cobb and JDV take on Classic Man and Sky Black.
what? Are you yawning at Mike Cobb?
Oh, boy.
JDV just that vicious? Are you yawning at Sky Black? Oh, you were yawning at Classic Man. I understand.
I'm tired.
That would be you. I like Classic Man. He's impressive. He's another one of those guys. He's sort of a quieter, except when he's using the mic, but he's doing stuff behind the scenes all the time.
This was set up to be a number one contender spot for the tag team titles. So, and then Mike Cobb and JDV did get the victory. And after the match, of course, Classic Man, Sky Black, they all shook hands and hugged it out. But No Limit Pro representatives Mike Cobb and JDV will now have a tag team title matchup on June 21st against Drew Weatherby and Preston Adams. That's one match we do know that we've got signed. Will be Mike Cobb and JDV against Drew Weatherby and Preston Adams.
So you're promoting No Limit Pro to come in and take away the RWF tag belts.
No, I'm promoting it. They get to hold a better title than what they've got. How about that?
What title?
Well, I mean, would you rather have an RWF title or No Limit Pro
okay,
title?
yeah.
Which one is more important?
I really don't have a lot of problems with
Actually,
with
No
them.
Limit Pro does have a good show.
when they do.
We interact with several promotions. PWA, No Limit Pro,
I've been working.
TCW's even, and then of course if Terry England's guys ever came in, we would,
Oh yeah, they're just too far away for us. I've been working on something I hadn't talked to you about us taking a trip down to Georgia. The Devil went to Georgia, It's King James. He's got a show down there that we talked about, and come on down and do all your stuff, record it, announce it, do everything you do.
we're at in Georgia.
I forgot.
It'd have to be a Saturday night.
Yeah,
or-
I think it is. I think he said it's about an hour and a half away, and we travel that far to go to No Limit
Yeah.
Pro or to the Tap. So I thought we might do that. Of course, I'd talk it over with you, and we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed in Georgia or not. No, I've never been to Georgia. Well,
But anyway, I'd love to go check that out.
I've been in Georgia just barely because you go into Georgia when you're going into Chattanooga on the interstate for just a few miles, and then you're back into Chattanooga.
And that is one thing. You know, we got to Saul and NWO, Tony and Crawls wrestling, those reunion shows.
Yeah.
Got to those in Murfreesboro. There's another one coming up. I think it's not until September, though, they told me.
Yeah, they had some issues with the building there, the National Guard Army in Murfreesboro, back when the storms hit. I think they had some issues with the building that
Yeah.
had to be redone.
But
That's why they haven't been able to do a show. So Mike Cobb, JDV won. They're number one contenders now for the tag team titles. This match right here was a good match, and I think we're going to bring it back as a rematch in June. Nate Starr against Larry Cooter.
please. What else would you want? Oh, what else you want? Matt and Sean, okay, but Nate and Larry, we could have stopped right there. That was
Larry Cooter got the win.
you got two world-class wrestlers, two different styles, and they just went at it. Go ahead.
A great match there. We'll probably show. If I don't do the whole show, I may go ahead and put the whole show out on YouTube so everyone can watch it, and then we can just watch a match and talk about it in detail. So be looking for that. I may do that Saturday or something.
Do a
like
watch party again, or just
that.
show
Do a
it?
watch party. Just
Show it.
share it, and so everyone can watch it.
Anyway, once again, that you could have. What else would you? Is this the match? This is the match that Xavier Michaels ran in.
No, there was nobody running on that match.
No, I mean on Mike on Larry, Nate and Larry.
I don't think so.
He ran in on some Xavier. Where did you run in at?
He ran in. That was 2 shows ago.
No, he did it this past show.
Well, we'll go through and look at the video.
Well, let's do it. Get it
let's do
out.
after the show.
Put it on. You've already got it edited out. Put it on. Let's watch it. Saturday.
We had Colton Chris take on Johnny Bandana. Johnny Bandana making his debut in the RWF, and great to have him. He did get a pinfall win over Colton Chris.
And Colton's been with us a long time. Would like to thank Johnny. He had some other things outside of wrestling that he traveled quite a ways just to get there. He dressed in the car, and maybe I'm not supposed to tell this kind of stuff, but to me, it's like, thank you. That was, you really went out. We've been trying to connect now for 3 or 4 months, and we finally got you here, and we really enjoyed it. And it is a very good match. I like Colton too. He's just good, basic. I want to know who he is. You think he's JDV underneath that mask? Or
Mr. Wrestling number 2. I'm just kidding.
why did I not think of that? He's really not big enough for wrestling too. But okay.
Actually,
oh, you're coming up to the bloodbath match. And Kenny South, as I like to call him, Ken the Bruiser.
Wrestler coming to RWF.
That's Austin Harris.
No, it's not.
That's Austin Harris.
No,
No, it's Luke.
It's Mr. Wrestling number 75.
Well, they can't see this picture.
Oh, let's see if I can get close enough to where.
You sure it's not Austin?
I know that's not.
I was going by body style and the almost being able to grow a beard.
But,
Once again, Austin, all my comments are of you. There's fondness there. We do have to put on a show.
no,
anyway.
Show me that picture.
Well, then I want.
Should we?
So anyway, we got. Who were we on there? While you're doing that, Larry? No, Kenny and Scorpion. I'm telling you, Scorpion's whole family showed up, sitting right there in front of the camera. We're at our table. There's probably 30 of them. His mom and dad were there. We hadn't seen them in a long time. They looked to be in pretty good condition, about the same as they were back when we were active with them in SWA. his sister-in-law, a bunch of her kids, a bunch of his kids. Matter of fact, he didn't have as many of his kids there as he usually does. Like Amber Dawn, she wasn't there. But then, and his brother, number one stunner, was there, Thomas. And they had a good show. And what a match.
But Kenny South and Scorpion, as they were taking on, here comes Blackthorn and interferes, which there's no disqualification. So I'm acting referee. What are you looking at?
I thought we froze up, but then you started moving again. Oh, it's just the way you're moving. Tim, move.
No.
Are you asleep?
I froze up on purpose just to make you think we froze up. So Blackthorn interfered. Of course, I'm referee.
Thorn
I'm
interfere?
referee match, so I'm just there to count to 3. That's what I tried to tell Scorpion's family. They were yelling, do something when he's bleeding all over the place. I'm like, I'm just here to count to 3.
Well, it was
it was
a no rules match.
Yeah.
So what do
So
you
what
do?
I do? I'm there to count to 3. That's I'm doing what a referee's supposed to do.
And
in
you
that
don't want to
situation.
disqualify because of Thorn, because that isn't what the people came to see. They came to see, what we saw, a beatdown.
But
Of course,
then
most everybody wanted Scorpion to do that beatdown, but it's Kenny South.
we saw
He took those brass knucks, hit him with everything, but he opened Scorpion up. Was that with the knuckles?
I'm not sure. I just know he busted him open.
He opened up. And
And I know that after Thorne interfered, well, Jason Insanity comes out to try to even out the odds, and Jason Sanity
he's insane, you know.
he wrestles to the back, fights to the back with Kenny South. Then Kenny South comes back on his own, so I'm not sure what happened. All that.
Well, more than likely, we know what happened. If Jason didn't come back, he can't come back.
But Blackthorn rock bottom Scorpion through the table, and then Kenny South goes down for the pin. 1, 2, 3. I was trying to find a place on the mat that didn't have blood on it to count because I didn't want to get blood on.
You didn't put gloves on.
Oh, I was just making sure. Okay.
All the referees put gloves on as soon as they see blood.
I didn't have any with me.
Oh, well, we'll take care of that in the future. I'll make sure you got gloves. Well, we got to see the ladder as soon as Scorpion, say what you will, he moves the crowd. He immediately climbed up that ladder as he came out behind the curtain, gets up to the top and does his KID thing. Like I'm saying, there's 30 people there wearing KID T-shirts. It was great. They made me an honorary family member and gave me one. Maybe it's an honorary family member.
Okay, now the next match, Xavier Michaels.
We saw the tables. It ended with a table. We saw the chairs, and we saw a lot of other things. I'm sorry, Xavier Michaels.
He came out here during this next match. I know that for sure.
I'm pretty sure he came out for a save. I'm going to go back and find that.
Do we call it the cruiserweight title or do we call it the light heavyweight title?
It's called the cruiserweight, but I never liked that. I thought it should be the light heavyweight or junior, but
it's
cruiser
light heavyweight. But that's oxymoron. It's light or heavyweight.
It's cruiser on the belt though. But you can call it
cruiserweight. I like it cruiserweight.
But they're not. Xavier Michaels is not a cruiserweight.
Yeah, he could be considered cruiserweight.
He's 200 pounds.
We considered David Matthews to be a woman.
That's
okay,
right.
So if we can consider David Matthews to be a woman,
And
then
you're right.
any wrestler can be a cruiserweight.
And in the
It
old
just depends on how heavy you think you are.
in the old RWF, the very first cruiserweight title, Kenny South was in it. It's three-way dance. So
And all those times Richard Lowe came out there with a scale to weigh himself.
yeah, he quit doing that once he lost weight, didn't he?
But
Oh
we
no.
had LBK
He hit him with it.
versus Landon Bradley versus Xavier Michaels. And Landon Bradley played it smart. This punk. The young punk.
You do
actually played it
realize
smart.
he is from wrestling royalty. He is a prince of wrestling in his own right, and you call him a punk.
He's
You
the
need
punk of
you
wrestling.
need to
family.
at least call him your excellency punk. Okay.
He needs a good butt whooping.
Well, his daddy's done
Why did he
that.
do that?
Yeah, I've seen
He
him
took
do
some
it.
cheap shots on his dad this past week. Did you see that?
Well, that's about the only time he's going to get one on Larry
Oh, I
Cooter.
bet his daddy.
Larry probably outweighs him close to 100 pounds. I mean, but Landon can go. We seen him take on all comers, all shapes and sizes and styles, just like Larry Cooter does. Anyway.
But LBK, Landon Bradley, and Xavier Michaels, several different. What happened? LBK ended up putting on a great move. I forgot what he did to Xavier Michaels. And
he did that cranium busters, what I call it, the 2 Ds on the back of the head.
Bradley
did that on a chair.
And Landon Bradley got rid of. Would he get rid of Xavier Michaels or did he get rid of LBK? But he stuck in there, got the pinfall after the big move by somebody else. he stole a pinfall.
It doesn't matter. He got the 1, 2, 3.
He played smart. He played it smart. Who would have thought that the young punk would play it smart like him?
Are you still going to call him a young punk?
Yeah. I think.
I don't think it should. It should be.
I think we need to have him.
Sir Punk of Cooterville or something like that.
I think after he stole
Your Honor.
He stole it from LBK, so I think we should put LBK versus Landon Bradley next show.
Or have a rematch of that, what we had. But yeah, once again, LBK, Landon Bradley, that is a match anywhere. We've seen it before, and he's one of the few people that can keep up with LBK, and LBK is one of the few people that keep up with Landon Bradley. They invent, particularly Landon, just invents all these new moves right in the middle of whatever, just like, where did that come from?
Then our main event, we had Matt Starr taking on Sean Hoodrich.
Oh, yeah.
And you saw it right there.
Pinfall after pinfall, or near pinfall after near pinfall after near pinfall. And that's the way it ought to be.
And
it ought.
Matt Starr did get the victory, and he is your new RWF.
And you could say shortcuts and you could say interference, but Sean did them too. Sean actually started it. He was using he used the snake. He used the kids as battering rams, and so it's all. I don't mind. I'm glad they do this stuff, no matter how much I say and complain about it. Keep doing what you do, Sean Hoodrich.
You want the kids to be removed from the building.
Well, what happens when Matt Starr reflexes and punches one of those little kids, particularly one of those little girls? It's my.
That's going to be Sean Hoodrich's fault.
It is, but it won't. I'm afraid one of those kids will get hurt. But at the same time, most of these kids, they belong that he's using belong to the wrestlers. So that's just Christmas Eve.
You saying we're slave holders? We own people.
I don't think we're allowed to say that. We hadn't offended anybody too much tonight.
They're children of some of the wrestlers.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Better way to put it.
I said own them. Yeah,
you said,
I didn't mean that.
They're owned by.
they're wrestlers' kids or family, and then at the same time this could just be Christmas Eve at Desperado's house.
Yeah.
These. I've heard some stories, and it's all fun. They're playing, but it's good.
We had another great show, and it's great to have a lot of these guys there. I'm really liking Sky Black and
love Sky Black.
Man. Also, Sean Hoodrich. I'm telling you what, if you're another promotion out there, don't try to book him on the night we got him. But
they do.
But he is one that
he owns.
He puts on the show
3 championships. Anyway, that at the same time,
what match we played him
not
in,
now. It's 2.
No matter who we put him up against, he's going to give it 110% every time.
And then he takes time once again, whether he's heel or fan favorite. He takes time with his snake. And his.
I think you can pay him in weed. I'm not sure. So I'm just saying. I just saw a commercial.
That's what he said on PWA to Kevin
Tony
Martin.
Falk always got him. Was it Tony Falk or whoever? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I'm just messing around. I'm just kidding.
That was his promo that he did for PWA.
And we don't pay anybody in weed. I don't know where to find it.
Well, we are on a federal facility, so we dare not have anything like that.
No weed, no alcohol, nothing like that.
It could get us shut down. It could get probably they just smack you on the hand first, but we don't need that around. And if you do
Especially
it,
when you have a kid-friendly atmosphere.
yeah, we have so many kids. And if we do, if you are by chance doing it, be sure and clean up after yourself. Don't throw it on the ground. So somebody's got to go out and pick all that junk up, and throw it in the trash.
Anyways, it is time for us to go. We've had a good show here.
It has been. Just one quick thing: Warriors, they're out of it, but
Well,
part of that Seth Curry got hurt.
Curry got hurt, and I think if he hadn't got hurt, they would still be in it.
Yeah, I missed that. LeBron, is he retired? It's been highly rumored that he was going to,
I've not heard yet.
but he sort of did what I thought he should. I think he don't need to retire yet. He just needs to come off the bench. But can he do that? Or maybe he needs to coach and come off the bench, actually be the coach. Okay, I just want to check in on
But
that.
anyways, I'm gonna let you.
Well, this
you
is
good
Rusty
guys,
the Ref
bye.
for the voice, Tim Miner. Thanking you for dropping in this Thursday evening, or whenever you watch our live stream. You can stroll down on the Facebook pages you're watching it on, and you can find other episodes of this. You know, you can find a lot of different matches. Go to Tim's YouTube page. We want to thank Addiction Inc. for their sponsorship and TMTV for their sponsorship. Thank you and good night.